Welcome back, everyone. Bienvenidos a todos. Right. Hoy es el día 7. Right, 7. That is day 7. We are concluding our weeks of Espanol. Let's go over our quick recall. So, quick recall and a review of the evening mobile session that's not part of the stream, the desktop version, right? So let's so present tense. Present tense we had it is a separate thing. So there was a little bit of a different thing where they added a second extra thing, and scrolling down through the other units, this is the one off. And they covered whoops. They showed conjugation tables. For ser. So ser, soy, eres, es, right? Es, estar. So estoy, estás, está, right? Pagar. So pago, pagas, paga. Beber. So bebo, bebes, and bebe. Tener. So tengo, tienes, and tiene. Just the present tense stuff. Necesitar. So necesitas, and necesita. Querer. Right, querer. Quiero. Quieres. And quiere. Comer. Como. Comes. Come. Was vivir. So vivo. Vives. Vive. Comprar. Compró. Compras. Compras. Compra. There's a few of the verbs we had. So they took all those verbs and then showed it more in a conjugation table format, which is very classic way. And now for clothing, just some clothing stuff like el abrigo, la camisa, la camiseta, la falda, el vestido, um, la chaqueta, chaqueta, la chaqueta, el reloj, el regalo, 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 present, dress, skirt, coat, jacket. Oh, do we have coat? Oh yeah, coat. Yeah, this is the first thing I read. Coat, jacket. El sombrero. Oh, hat. Do we have more than one accessory? Reloj. That's a pretty good array. Then we got more adjectives, right? Oh, we had color. Verde, rojo, marrón. Are those really the only? Oh, azul. I don't have others yet. Oh, gris. Don't have like blanco, negro, amarillo. Okay. Describing other parts. Oh, caro, and barato, cheap, expensive. No long, like largo and demasiado for degree, demasiado. Accessory. La cartera, la cartera. Cómoda, comfortable. Grande, big. I mean, think that's from our last unit. Perfecto. That's from our last one, but upper clothing. What else can we say? La tienda. La ropa. No shoes, yeah. You know, zapatos. Encantar was used once or twice in the stories. I feel like there's more adjectives, right? Expensive, cheap, comfortable. Can't think of any off the top of my head. Colors. How many do we have here? 3, 6, 9, 11, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That's pretty good, actually. 21. I think there were 27. We're averaging 27 new vocabulary words each round. So I'll take 21. I'll take 21. If we cross 20, that seems like a reasonable thing for now. Oh, el cinturón. Trying to think of accessories. I can't use like elegante, right? Bonito. I don't know. Bonito. Bonito is definitely previous unit in elegante. Yep, that's good enough. We'll take it. Okay, and then reviewing stuff. So we have reviewing stuff again. Every evening we're doing podcast, right? There was one podcast here in the desktop version, but it does not overlap with the 3 podcasts from the evening. So the first podcast was a new segment, and the segment was called Antiquities with Oscar. So it was Oscar's thing, and he overheard someone who had his spiel is he's looking for antiquities. So he overheard someone explaining something, a good shirt or something, but turns out the guy basically wanted a different shirt. They wanted a green shirt, I think. Verde, right? Verde, or camisa de, camisa verde, right? So he made a snide remark like, "Oh, so that's a little disappointing, but hey, you know, keep an eye out." So Oscar is added to the thing, and it was, oh, I still don't remember what it's called. It's like human life, Falstaff's observation on human life or something. The second one is Falstaff again. So it's a conversation of people shopping for clothing. Or talking about clothing. And he makes a joke, usually because he's a bear, that most bears just talk about fur. And be done with it, right? Because bears don't wear clothing. And then the third one was Lucy again. And Lucy is always listening or something is the bit. Lucy is always listening or listening with Lucy. And she's a conspiracy person. So this was also, I guess this wasn't shopping. I think it was, they were just talking about their clothing, the clothing that they have. Lucy's one was shopping about clothing, and it was between two people, and they ended up buying like a weird, like, I think they ended up buying a gray shirt or a hat. And then Lucy does this bit where like, that's suspicious, right? It must be like a secret meeting thing or something. But that's kind of Lucy's bit. They kind of get the personality of the bit. Lily is apathetic. Lynn is lazy. Then we have Oscar, Falstaff, and Lucy right now. I don't think Zadi here. I don't think Zadi showed up yet. And then in advance, the adventure that we did was, again, it was Zadi. And this time, Zadi is serving Oscar at the cafe that apparently she works at. And then Oscar did something that was similar to the previous units, where it was Lucy ordering stuff. So Oscar, they swapped up the order. So Oscar ended up ordering cafe, sandwich, right? Or un café y un sandwich. And then after you grabbed the cafe and sandwich, he asked for leche, right? A leche, and then you grab the leche and give it to him. So it turned out they turned the situation to add some of the other vocabulary words in it, and that was it was a remix. It felt like it was a remix of the Lucy one. Anyways, that's what we had from yesterday. Now we're gonna go into our new unit, right? Actually, let's take a look at words that I missed. Demasiado, regalo, cinturón, reloj. Oh, favorita. Oh, and diferente. So, differente and favorita are two adjectives that are coupled together. Oh, and ese and este, this and that. Este and ese. Oh, comprar was actually part of the new unit. We kind of picked it up on the top. And that's it. So diferente and favorita is important. Ese and este not as important because those are gonna come up a lot. Or I typically want to remember the ones that may or may not come up anymore because of usage. And of course, we finally reach one of my favorite topics, school. Can't have a conversation these days without talking about school and how kiddos and university people hate school and it always gets in the way of all their desirably worldly goods and how they learn and etc. Right? Can't have a conversation about learning without mentioning school. Yo quiero estudiar español. Yeah. Actually.
Yo quiero estudiar español.
Yeah, estudiar to study. Right. Yo necesito leer un libro. Yeah, to read.
Yo necesito leer un libro.
Leer un libro. Tú estudias medicina.
¿Tú estudias medicina?
Medicina. Gotta add the question medicina. No, yo no estudio medicina. Yo no comprendo la pregunta. Yeah, pregunta.
Yo no comprendo la pregunta.
Yo no escribo mucho. Yeah, don't write a lot. Yo no comprendo. It's easy to make a negative statement in Spanish. Simply say no before the verb. Yes. Yo no estudio inglés. Yeah. Lo siento, yo no comprendo. Quiero hablar español. Escribir, estudiar, and leer are all verbs, forms called infinitives. That's what I was looking for. The two form infinitives. I've been like wrapping my brain around like there's definitely a word for the two form, right? Infinitives. Thank you Duolingo for reminding me it's infinitives. Yo quiero escribir, right? In English, infinitives always have the word to at the start, like to study or to. But in Spanish, they don't require any extra word, right? To say I want to study, you'll just say yo quiero estudiar. Yeah, yo necesito leer. There. Okay. Let's go. Still 5 sets. So what is this? I think our Duolingo sessions are about the length of our Hansa Hero section. So it's pretty consistent for now. I think we're going to shorten it to some extent when we get further, right? Do they show what the segments are? So there's a new marker in the mobile side of things. I think the marker marked around section 5 is where I feel will hit things that I'm not familiar with, like largely things I'm not familiar with, but we'll see. I have lots of gaps from this use, right? Okay.
El maestro.
Yeah, el maestro.
Un maestro.
Un maestro. Okay. Oh, right. I remember this. El bolígrafo. No, bolígrafo.
El bolígrafo.
Yeah, el bolígrafo. I just use pen.
El libro.
El libro. Okay.
Mi libro.
Mi libro. Okay. La escuela.
Mi escuela.
Mi escuela. Right. Okay.
¿Dónde está el maestro de español?
Está aquí en la escuela. Pretty good.
El bolígrafo.
El bolígrafo. I usually just say el pen because I can bolígrafo.
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 Mi bolígrafo.
Mi bolígrafo.
Un examen.
Un examen. Examen.
Yo tengo un examen. Yo
Yo
tengo
tengo un examen.
Muy fácil.
Muy fácil. So it got easy and hard, right?
Este examen es fácil.
Este examen es fácil. Okay. Una
Clase.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Una clase de español.
Español.
That's right. Clase is feminine. Una clase de inglés. Una clase
Clase.
fácil.
Fácil.
Oh, also a lesson from our last unit is that adjectives come after the noun, right? That's a thing. I forgot to process that. I don't think it's abnormal to put adjectives at the end of nouns. Actually, I'm kind of agnostic to either because in Chinese it goes everywhere, and so does Japanese, and English also goes everywhere too. Not necessarily adjectives themselves, but the arrangement of like descriptors and how you read them. So it's okay. I think overblowing, over exaggerating how much of a word order can make things difficult. I can't relate to that very often, because if there's any language that's more flexible with word orders, probably English. Not that people go around experimenting with prose writing, right? When you're reading books and whatnot, things can get really creative, but I feel lots of comments when people say, oh yeah, the SVO thing always trips me up, the SOV, or like that type of thing, or putting subjects at the end, that kind of thing. I think that comes from a place where people want to stick to a pattern, and I don't typically have that feeling associated with them. It doesn't stop the person from coming at me and tell me like, oh yeah, you're gonna struggle with this, you're gonna struggle with that. Not that I even care about struggling, honestly. Fun takes the struggle out of everything. That's a little too hyperbolic. Fun takes the struggle out of most things that I choose to do. I think right now when people say they love to learn something that is fun, they still associate it with struggling. And that's kind of one of the differences between someone who likes, genuinely in my opinion, likes to the act of learning versus someone who likes the results of learning, right? People who enjoy the fruits of their labor, not the labor itself. Oh right. El estudiante.
El estudiante.
El estudiante.
Un estudiante.
Okay.
Un maestro y un estudiante.
Un maestro y un estudiante. La pregunta.
La pregunta.
Yo quiero leer.
Yo quiero leer. Yo quiero leer este libro.
Libro.
Un examen difícil.
Un examen difícil. Difícil.
Ana, tengo una pregunta.
¿Es una pregunta fácil o difícil? Es mi tienda favorita.
Una pregunta difícil.
Una pregunta difícil.
Yo quiero escribir.
Escribir. Yo quiero escribir.
Yo necesito escribir en español.
Yo necesito escribir en español.
Yo quiero estudiar.
Estudiar. Yo quiero estudiar.
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 Yo tengo un problema.
Problema. Yo tengo un problema. Oh yeah, and this is, masculine. Un problema difícil. Yo quiero escribir.
Yo
Yo tengo un
problema.
Okay.
Yo comprendo.
Yo comprendo. Okay.
Yo estudio aquí.
Yo estudio aquí. Okay.
Lo siento mucho.
Lo siento. Okay, then we have mucho. Right? So now we have demasiado, muy, and mucho. And yeah, there's gonna be situations where mucho and muy are going to be like, there's frequency of usages between muy and mucho. There's a nuance in there. We're It's gonna be interesting if Duo has a preference or it shows a preference. Right? It's not like you can do, mucho gusto. You can't do muy well. It sounds weird to say muy gusto, so they're not necessarily interchangeable. And we'll see how it shows up in Duolingo. So far, they're using the word really as opposed to very. Like in two different places. So, see how it works out. Yo estudio mucho en la escuela.
Escuela.
I was looking for classroom.
Yo leo en español.
Yo leo en español. So whenever they introduce a new verb, they're making sure to cover I, you, he, she, right? I, you, he, she in the present tense. Okay. Yo leo un libro en español.
Libro.
Una clase importante.
Una clase importante. Do we not have importante? Oh no, we didn't in the lessons, but in one of the stories. Oh, and we got clase, right? And clase is feminine, right? Did I already mention this? Yeah, clase is feminine. We have a bunch of exceptions already.
Importante.
Importante.
Un examen importante.
Un examen importante.
Importante.
And you have to remember gender agreements for non-traditional endings.
Yo no soy estudiante.
Yo no soy estudiante. Okay. The adding negation. Right.
Yo no comprendo.
Yo no comprendo.
Hola, yo estudio español. ¿Y tú?
Lo siento, no comprendo. In Spanish. That's funny. This reminds me of those short stories. Especially Chinese stories, where someone would ask you like, "Oh, hey, do you speak English?" No, I don't speak English. Like in English. This reminds me of that.
Yo no leo mucho.
Yo no leo mucho.
Hola, buenos días. Soy Claudia.
What the heck, Lucy? You're Lucy. Lo siento, no comprendo español. In Spanish. I think this would give it away to El baño está aquí. Yo escribo con mi maestra. Okay, they just decided to choose maestra. Okay.
Yo escribo
mucho.
mucho.
Yo escribo en español. Okay. So funny.
La
La
computadora.
computadora. Oh, la mesina. Of all the choices, interesting.
Mi computadora.
Mi computadora.
La
La
medicina.
medicina.
Yo estudio medicina.
Yo estudio medicina. What are they trying to say here? What are they trying to say? Obviously, they're gonna add a doctora in the next unit or something for professions, right?
Un profesor.
Oh, just kidding. They start with profesor.
Profesor.
I thought they might like wait till the next unit or something. Profesor.
Mi universidad.
Mi universidad. ¿Mm? Mi profesor de medicina es muy importante en mi universidad y en el hospital. Right.
Medicina.
¿Tú lees mucho?
¿Tú lees mucho?
¿Tú lees en español? Tú
¿Tú lees
lees en
en español?
español.
¿Tú lees en la computadora?
¿Tú lees en la computadora? The heck? How dare you? I did. Oh, it didn't register. I must have spoke too soon before I clicked on
Tú
it.
escribes mucho.
¿Tú escribes mucho?
¿Tú escribes en español?
¿Tú escribes en español?
¿Tú estudias mucho?
¿Tú estudias mucho? Mi universidad.
Tú
¿Estudias medicina?
medicina.
Tú
¿Tú
estudias
estudias mucho?
mucho.
Alright, and then we do our review.
Yo necesito leer un libro.
Yo necesito leer un libro. I need to read a book right now, right meow. Yo leo un libro en español.
Yo quiero leer.
Yo quiero leer. Yo quiero leer este libro.
Yo leo con mi maestro.
Con mi maestro. Tengo un examen difícil y quiero estudiar.
Examen. Yo estudio en la universidad. Yo
Yo estudio. Wait.
estudio en
En
la
la
universidad.
Universidad. Tengo un examen en la universidad. Es demasiado difícil y no comprendo.
Difícil. Un
Rep.
maestro y un estudiante.
Un
maestro.
Un maestro.
Un maestro y un estudiante.
Y un estudiante.
Estudiante.
¿Estudias mucho?
¿Estudias mucho? Sí, tengo un examen muy importante. That's
En la
right.
escuela.
En la escuela.
Escuela.
That what you said? That was a little weird.
¿Tú lees en la computadora?
Tú lees en la computadora. Okay. Okay. Let's legend this puppy. Go, go, go.
Yo necesito escribir en español.
Yo necesito escribir en español.
Una clase fácil. Clase.
Yo necesito un bolígrafo.
Yo necesito un bolígrafo.
Un examen importante.
Maestro, una pregunta. El examen es difícil.
Why would you ask that to a teacher? No, Luis. Este examen es muy fácil. What would they say? I mean, like, it's probably because I've been out of education for so long, and maybe I'm trying to moderate internet commentary, but the hyper focusedness on something that's hard or difficult or like easy or difficult, doesn't land for me. Like, the question doesn't present any information back. Like, for example, asking questions, right? Oftentimes, if someone asks me in class, right? I haven't actually done this too often. If someone asks me, hey, professor, is the exam difficult? I would say something like, well, I can't really answer that question, can I? Try asking a different question. Or like, do you have any specific questions? Because when a professor says, yes, the exam is difficult, no, the exam is going to be easy, what information are you getting from that as a student? Like, for someone who's asking, like, what does that tell you about the exam? That's why I have a problem empathizing with the construction, critical thinking, and the problem solving task of students a lot of times. But hear me out. Oftentimes, the student is inexperienced. Now we take it to the internet, right? And you have people who ask these questions, and I don't actually ascertain as to if they actually care about the content or not. Because honestly, when you ask someone if this is hard, and someone says yes or no, it's hard, do you learn anything from it? Like, how much are you learning from it? And yes, you still learn something from it. You kind of get an idea of what that person's perspective is. But when you ask a question like that on the internet, people will say yes and no and confirm it. They are unlikely to elaborate on what they consider is hard or easy. So in my mind's eye, the thing I want to normalize is when someone asks me what's my favorite anime, I'm going to answer and qualify what constitutes as favorite so they can understand a little bit about me, as in what is it that determines what my favorite is, and then the anime, and then describe the anime, right? Now, in my opinion, that doesn't ever happen. That probably doesn't happen very often because most people expect a yes or no response, and they usually don't learn anymore from the person, right? It's either confirmation bias or avoidant behavior of having deeper discussions, in my opinion. That's like one of the most classical ways. And in a classroom setting, it's a little different because if I was the instructor, I would do as I do online right now. And, you know, this is kind of my take on streaming, I suppose. I don't want people, in my opinion, I want to not say you have to behave this way. I kind of want to incentivize and demonstrate that you can ask questions that can give back more information and make yourself more presentable and actively engaged than asking a question like this, which is illustrated here because someone's language is limited, right? So when you have, if you're a native speaker, for example, or someone who has much education in the language, you can extract more information by asking more detailed questions. However, I don't think that's the case online. I actually think regardless of the competency of someone's language, they are not incentivized to ask more detailed language with the language they already know, right? Like the vast majority of English questions from self-proclaimed English natives are like this. It's like, is Chinese hard? Is Japanese hard? Oh, you're learning the hardest language. The two hardest language. I'm like, I'm not getting any information from this. Like, what, are you trying to tell me something? And so I would take my opportunities like, oh, well, let's add a little context to that. I don't particularly think that any language is difficult because I don't focus on the difficulty. if difficulty is something that's tenuous and it's temporary. So perhaps instead of saying it is difficult for me, I will find if it becomes difficult for me, because I don't go into a language thinking it's difficult or easy, right? That kind of thing produces more intimacy, something that allows one to say something, respond to something, and also offer information. And then I would ask questions that gives me more information about that person. If that person doesn't normalize, in my opinion, the people around me who doesn't normalize explaining themselves and expressing themselves, then I feel like that removes the opportunity for being friends, right? If you, this might be a hot take, but or a life hack or what have you, but normalizing how to ask detailed questions so that you can actively get a lot of information from someone makes you more active and interested in that other person, and that person themselves may consciously and or intuitively believe and have a feeling that you're interested in them. And if you encourage them to express things, they will ask you expressive things back. And the hot take and the life hack here is you are more likely to establish rapport professionally. Like, so when you go to an interview, you're able to be more efficient about asking questions and extracting information and responding by exchanging information. So it's not like feeling like the interviewer has to pull your teeth to get information from you, right? And then you are more likely to be charismatic and have friends of your own choosing. I believe out there in the probabilistic world, you can make friends serendipitously, right? You can bump into friends. I think that's how younger people nowadays feel friendship is serendipitous, as in they wait for friends to bump into each other. You wait and hopefully get lucky to bump into friends. Meanwhile, if you're more focused on asking questions and expressive nature, that odds become less of luck, but become more of how often you talk. So if you're down to my level, I suppose, down or up, whichever direction, if you're going on my head, in my head is, I want to make a friend. So what can I do about it? I go out and I talk more. And then the odds go up, right? However, in my opinion, most people, when they think of it that way, they wait. They're like, oh, I'll just do what I want and then hope that one day we'll just serendipitously meet a friend through common interest. Unfortunately, in my opinion, the odds of that common interest being sufficient to keep two people together is incredibly rare. It's super tenuous because you don't spend time asking questions that may trigger intuition of wanting to care about each other. Just my usual thought. How is this related to this? I don't consider myself anywhere near conversational, bottom line conversational, until I am able to ask a question in which it demonstrates that I can express something and also collects information from another person. So if I can only ask yes or no questions, I probably won't engage in conversation yet. For myself, personally. It's a low bar. It's not that high of a bar to try to come up with creative ways to ask questions in a manner that extracts a deeper level understanding, right? I think a great way to determine that is how often do you ask yes or no questions, or like ones and zeros and rights and wrongs and red and black and white. You certainly won't be the most popular person, because popularity involves tenuous relationships with a lot of people, right? So you could say, oh yeah, this exam was the hardest. Watch me learn Spanish the hardest way. Then you'll have a bunch of people, but are they going to be your friends? That's probably a different story, right? There's an appropriateness for both, obviously. But whenever someone asks me, is, el examen es difícil, I would ask back as a instructor, as a professor, what do you consider difficult? Like, can you give me an example of what would be something that is difficult in the exam? And let's go over that. Because we want to review things the student find difficult. I can't reveal what's in the exam, but I can most definitely help a student learn something that they think is difficult that will likely, from my mind's eye, be on the exam. If it's not on the exam, it will still be helping that student understand something that may be on the exam. So I think this is a great illustration of the difference between a high school student, or maybe even a middle school student, and a college student, or even a college student and a graduate student. Graduate students ask not stupid questions or smart questions. They ask questions that gets them information, right? So that's kind of one of the things. Like, hopefully the responder is also that way. A responder that is low intellectually or investment is someone who will respond with a yes or no without elaborating on it, right? And that operates on confirmation bias, and that's or like the absence. I don't know what it's called, the absence bias or something, where if you don't hear it, then it's not true kind of situation. Fun stuff to think about.
Una clase de inglés.
Una clase de inglés.
¿Estudias en la universidad?
No, yo soy profesor. Yo leo un libro en español. Wait, didn't we just get this set? Oh, because we're in legend. Fine.
Yo, leer. Necesito.
Yo necesito leer.
Leer.
Yo no estudio inglés aquí. Yo estudio medicina en la universidad.
Okay. La persona tiene un examen de inglés? No. Ella es estudiante, right? Es una estudiante.
Yo escribo mucho. Yo
Escribo mucho. Tú escribes y lees mucho en el computadora. Yeah, okay. Yo escribo mucho. ¿Tú escribes mucho?
Escribe.
Escribes. Disculpe, maestro. Yo no comprendo este problema. Problema es muy difícil. Not difícil. Difícil. Tengo un examen y necesito estudiar. Oh, I just triggered Google somehow.
Estudiar.
Yo estudio español en la escuela.
Estudio.
Yo no soy estudiante.
Yo no.
No.
I see what you did there with the low.
¿Tú lees en la computadora? Tú
lees en la
computadora.
Wait.
¿Tú lees en la computadora?
You read.
¿Tú lees en la computadora?
I guess you read on the computer. Okay, that's fair. That's kind of a weird question. But I get it. I was thinking in some different way. All right, a new coat. Oh wait, why is this about a coat? Interesting. The last unit's about clothing. Huh.
Un abrigo nuevo.
New coat, huh? Nuevo. New?
Vikram está en una tienda.
Fair enough.
Una mujer habla con él.
Petri? What's her name? Petri?
Buenos días.
Oh no, he's not with his wife. I keep forgetting Pituri or something. I keep forgetting Vikram's wife's name.
Buenos días.
Whoa, Vikram.
¿Usted trabaja aquí?
Oh, we have usted. Oh, we saw this one in Japanese too. This is one of the ones that they converted to Japanese as well. Vikram is gonna pretend like he works, or he's mistaken to be a employee of the clothing shop. Oh, whoops. Yeah, it's not asking if Vikram is working at the shop. It's asking if the woman asked.
Yo...
Perfecto. Necesito ayuda.
Okay, I need your help. Ayuda. Ayudar. Or help. To
Pero-
help. Pero...
Necesito un abrigo nuevo.
pero for but.
¿Le gusta el rojo?
Oh, and le. Le is a direct object. Or I guess it's like a direct object. I forgot what they call it. I'm not sure if that's considered. Like, do you like it? Right? Do you like the red one? Or, yeah, do you like the red one?
Usted...
¿O le gusta más el marrón?
Gusta más. So this is comparative. Or do you like the brown one more? Right? Más. Which is not the same as mucho. And even further pivot to muy. Right? So there's the whole mucho más and muy back and forth adverb comparative stuff. So it's just más. I still remember some of these early grammar day things.
El abrigo marrón es cómodo y barato,
Fair point.
pero el rojo es muy bonito.
So there is something now that I'm thinking about like Japanese and Chinese, there is something that Spanish kind of sort of does like English, and it's they don't denote it, which is pero el rojo, right? But it's pero el rojo, the one, so the red one es muy bonito, right? But the red one is very pretty. It said here is the red is very pretty, but in a lot of times when I'm thinking in Japanese and Chinese, you have to count the rojo. Like the rojo is an object, so oftentimes like you have like no or like Japanese, and then maybe like I don't know, 一条. What are we talking about here? Are we talking about a coat? So like 一件, right?
Y es elegante.
Yes, elegante.
Es perfecto para usted.
What I understand about usted is very general. Basically, he's using usted here because he's talking to someone else, and someone else in a more formal stranger setting, right?
Está bien. Quiero el abrigo rojo. Gracias. Usted es muy bueno en su trabajo.
You're very good at your job.
¿Y para pagar?
It's not identical between the two stories, though. It's not identical. Maybe it's because of a flex of the language itself.
Yo no sé.
Yo no sé. Yo no sé. I don't know.
Yo no trabajo aquí.
Women mistaken Vikram to work at the shop, yeah. abrigo, tienda, marrón, pero, rojo. Okay. Again, let's
Un
go.
abrigo nuevo. Vikram está en una tienda. Una mujer habla con él.
Buenos días.
Buenos días.
¿Usted trabaja aquí?
¿Y?
Yo
Perfecto.
No,
Necesito ayuda.
Pero
Necesito un abrigo nuevo. ¿Le gusta el rojo?
usted...
¿O le gusta más el marrón?
el abrigo marrón es cómodo y barato, pero el rojo es muy bonito.
I just realized... No, it's still abrigo, either way.
Y es elegante. Es perfecto para usted.
Está bien. Quiero el abrigo rojo. Gracias. Usted es muy bueno en su trabajo.
Oh, and then also yours, Sue. We don't have Sue yet. Oh.
¿Y para pagar?
Yo no sé. Yo no trabajo aquí.
Okay. Alright. Pero. Se. Un. Trabaja. Abrigo. Alright. And then now we do the typing stuff. Great, the typing stuff.
Maestro.
Maestro.
Ropa.
Ropa.
Comprar.
Comprar, regalo.
Mi escuela.
Mi escuela,
Chaqueta.
chaqueta,
Libro.
libro,
Marrón.
marrón, sombrero.
Mi maestro de español.
Mi maestro de español. Español.
Muy fácil.
Muy fácil. Okay.
Una clase fácil.
Hace. What? Why did you say it like that?
Calle. Clase. Calle.
Heidi?
Clase.
¿Dónde está mi bolígrafo?
¿Dónde está mi bolígrafo? Bolígrafo.
Un
Libro de español.
Este examen es fácil.
Este examen es fácil. Oops. Ah! Wait. Oh. I don't have my IEM activated. I'm like, what the heck? Sorry. There we go. Oops. Oh, whoops.
Un libro
Wrong letter.
de español. Libro.
Un examen
En la escuela.
en la escuela. Yo necesito un bolígrafo.
Hola, Antonio. Soy Luis. ¿Dónde está mi libro de inglés? Tengo una clase muy importante en la escuela.
Okay, Luis tiene una clase de inglés, right? He's asking for where his book is. For his very important class in English. Okay, una clase de español. Whoops. Mi maestro español. Do you really need a day? Oh, I guess that would separate between a Spanish teacher, like a teacher who, oh, that's kind of interesting. Would it separate between, so how do you separate between a teacher who is Spanish and a teacher of Spanish? Or did they, I guess we just use more context. Interesting. I had to test it, so I mean, probably just putting de is the safe thing to do. So, yo tengo un examen. Okay. I had to test it. Alright, let's go to the next one.
Estudiante.
Estudiante.
Rojo.
Rojo.
Azul.
Azul. Pregunta.
Una pregunta difícil.
Una pregunta difícil.
Libro.
Libro.
Gris.
Gris.
Rojo.
Rojo. Leer.
Yo necesito escribir en clase.
Yo necesito escribir en clase.
Estudiar.
Estudiar.
S. Azul.
Azul. Examen.
Un problema interesante.
Un problema interesante.
Un examen difícil.
Un examen difícil.
Un problema difícil.
Okay.
Yo tengo una pregunta.
Una pregunta interesante.
Oh, pregunta. Yeah.
Yo tengo un problema.
Okay. Yo necesito escribir en español. Yo quiero leer un libro en español.
Yo
necesito
escribir en clase.
Okay. I was gonna add an article, but the article is not available. I was gonna say en la clase, but yo quiero estudiar una estudiante. Oh, right. Either or. I don't know why I tend to think of a female student. Yo quiero estudiar en español. Or español? Intriguing. I've encountered another. Oh, I missed the S, but interesting. I want to study Spanish versus I want to study in Spanish. Or, yeah.
Una clase importante.
Una clase importante.
Yo escribo mucho.
Mucho.
Yo estudio aquí.
Un examen importante.
Yo no comprendo.
Yo no comprendo.
Un examen importante.
Un examen importante.
Yo no comprendo la pregunta.
Yo no comprendo la pregunta.
Yo no estudio español. No. Yo escribo en español.
Escribo.
Yo
leo
con mi maestro.
¿No? Yo no leo mucho.
Hola, soy Daniel. Yo no comprendo inglés. Yo estudio español en la escuela.
Okay. Daniel. Daniel es estudiante.
Yo no escribo mucho. No.
Estudio. Okay. Yo leo mucho. Yo no comprendo. Yo leo en español. ¿Eh?
Yo estudio medicina.
Yo estudio medicina.
¿Tú lees en la computadora?
¿Lees?
Bebes, lees.
Yo estudio en la universidad.
Yo estudio en la universidad.
¿Dónde está el profesor?
¿Dónde está el profesor? El profesor.
Tú escribes mucho.
Escribes.
Escribo. Escribes.
El profesor está aquí.
El profesor está aquí. El profesor está aquí. I was gonna ask in a form of a question. Is the professor here? Right. El profesor está aquí versus el profesor está aquí. ¿Tú estudias inglés?
Inglés.
¿Tú estudias medicina?
Yo no estudio inglés aquí. Yo estudio medicina en la universidad.
Okay.
¿Tú lees mucho?
¿Y lees mucho?
¿Tú escribes en la computadora?
Well, that tone was weird.
Tú
escribes
escribe mucho.
¿Tú lees en la computadora? Oh, whoops, that's a typo. Ese profesor de medicina es muy importante en mi universidad. ¿Tú estudias medicina? Computadora. ¿Tú estudias en el universidad? Oh, whoops. Wrong gender. My bad. Oh, interesting. Here's a tip. Oh, heck your tip. And I still include my pronouns. Okay. Alright. Mi maestro español. We tested this earlier. Universidad. Tú escribes y lees mucho en la computadora. Yo escribo. Tú escribes, right? Lo siento mucho. escribes? Yo no soy estudiante.
Estudiante.
I was gonna put una or un, but I guess not. Yo quiero estudiar.
Yo quiero estudiar español.
Estudias.
Yo necesito estudiar.
Okay. All the forms. Yo necesito leer. Okay. Alright, let's legend it up. Okay. Mi bolígrafo.
Bolígrafo. Una clase importante.
Importante.
Tú,
Leo. No. Tú lees.
Lees.
Es en español. Un maestro y un estudiante. El libro. Una escuela.
Yo quiero estudiar.
Estudiar. Yo
Yo.
estudio.
Tú.
Tú estudias.
Yo quiero leer.
Yo quiero leer. Yo escribo. Tú escribes.
Hola, soy Daniel. Yo no comprendo inglés. Yo estudio español en la escuela.
Yo escribo. Necesito escribir en clase.
Escribir.
Buenos días. Yo soy Juan. Soy el maestro de inglés y este examen es muy fácil. Buenos días. Yo soy Juan. Soy el maestro de inglés y este examen es muy fácil.
Maestro? I mean, that was kind of a mixed bag. You could still be something, the other two technically, after saying that. Technically. But I guess that's the most appropriate one. Another student could administer another test.
Yo no
And a
estudio
doctor
inglés
can.
aquí. Yo estudio medicina en la universidad.
Okay.
¿Dónde está el profesor?
¿Dónde? I'm pretty sure I missed an accent mark, but that's fine. Ah! I missed. Oh, we need the accent mark. Oh, and I added double S. Whoops. Yo necesito. I was too lazy.
Una pregunta difícil.
I was too lazy there. Shouldn't have been lazy. Alright, personalized practice. Let's go, let's go. It's always that. Yo soy.
Es.
Ella es.
Sí, yo.
Sí, yo soy Juan. Oh,
Él es un hombre.
okay.
Ella es una niña. Ella es niña.
Ah! I missed the article.
Ey, María.
Ella es una niña. Ella es una niña.
Okay. Personalized practice. We're kind of going a little bit quicker.
Perdón, Luis.
Perdón, Juan. Mucho gusto.
Perdón, Luis.
Technically, thanks works too.
Gracias. No, gracias.
¿Tú hablas español?
¿Tú hablas español?
Hola, Ana.
Juan, ¿tú hablas inglés?
Juan, ¿tú hablas inglés? Tú hablas. Okay.
Hola, mucho gusto.
Hola, mucho gusto. Alright, let's legend it.
Hola, buenos días.
Buenos días. Mucho gusto.
Huh. Maybe I can do this? I don't know if this works. Oh, okay, that's what they want. Okay.
Adiós. Buenas noches.
Okay. Getting more reliable at hitting those punctuations. Maybe you don't. Oh, whoops. I typoed. Fine. Trying very, very hard to keep the punctuation. Practice some punctuation. Okay. Oh, some finger gymnastics. All right, podcast. We got our podcast. Medicals, the medical student. Okay. It's Lily now.
Welcome back to Lily and Strangers, where I'm forced to talk to people I don't know.
Yeah, Lily and Strangers. That's the bit.
In case you care, here are some keywords you should know.
Okay.
Favorito.
Favorito.
Bolígrafo.
Bolígrafo.
Estudio.
Estudio. Oh, estudiar. Wait.
Estudio. Carrera. Estudio.
Oh, estudio. I study. Whoops.
Carrera.
Carrera. Yeah, carrera.
I'm Lily, and today we have another person here to waste our time.
Hola, soy Nicolás y estudio medicina en la universidad. Estudio medicina. Es difícil, leo mucho y escribo en la computadora. Tengo un libro grande. Tengo un libro grande. Y mi bolígrafo favorito es azul. Mi carrera es muy importante.
Okay. Oh, I see what they do.
It sounds like
things,
you're ditching your med studies to talk to me. Good to know I'm not the only one wasting time. See you next time, or not.
All right. Okay. Yeah, that's on cue. That's the podcast. All right. You can't legend podcast.
Yo quiero leer en español.
Yo quiero leer en español.
Mi escuela.
Mi escuela. ¿Tú eres maestro de español en la escuela de mi hermana? Okay. Yo soy un estudiante. Oh, yeah, see, I disagree. Duolingo, Duo. Tengo un examen y necesito un bolígrafo. Okay. Una clase. Fácil. Maestro, este problema es muy difícil. Stop it, Google. Tengo una pregunta. That works.
Un examen difícil.
Difícil. Yo quiero leer un libro en español. A ver. Un examen. Mi clase de inglés es fácil.
Yo
necesito
escribir en español.
Yo necesito estudiar.
Yo necesito escribir en clase.
Student. Oops. Okay.
Yo estudio medicina.
Yo estudio medicina.
Una clase importante.
Una clase importante.
Tú escribes mucho.
¿Tú escribes mucho? O leo. Tú escribes.
Yo.
Yo no.
Escribo.
Escribo mucho.
Mucho.
Estudias. Tú estudias.
Yo leo mucho.
Es muy difícil. Right? Or fácil. Yo no comprendo este problema. Okay. Ooh, that's a pretty good one.
¿Tú estudias inglés?
¿Tú estudias inglés? Oops. Universidad. ¿Tú lees mucho? Mucho. Escuela. Yo escribo. I might have typoed there. Tú escribes en la computadora. Alright.
Yo necesito un bolígrafo.
Yo necesito un bolígrafo. Okay. Tengo un examen importante. ¿Tú estudias mucho?
Este examen es fácil.
Ese examen fácil. Oh, Whoops. Este examen es fácil. I didn't know if you said este or ese. I wasn't listening. Yo leo en español. Whoops. Keep hitting the wrong button. Yo tengo una pregunta. I added an E. Tipo mucho.
Yo necesito escribir en clase.
Y ir en clase. Okay. Yo quiero estudiar español. Yo necesito leer un libro. Yo quiero leer.
Yo estudio en la universidad.
Yo estudio en...
Yo estudio en la universidad. Yo estudio en la universidad. Yo estudio en la universidad.
What the heck happened to that? What happened to that? It like they just slammed it together. I mean, it only made sense for that, but I wanted to listen to a couple. What the heck, dude? Yo necesito computadora. Escribes. No comprendo. No comprendo. No comprendo la pregunta. Oh, entiendo. What the heck? You just throw a curveball? Yeah, entiendo. Entienda is what I would have used, but they didn't introduce. Yeah, entendar. Sorry, not entiendo. Entendar. They didn't introduce entendar yet. The difference between entendar and comprendar and aprendar are very subtle, but they definitely didn't introduce that yet. So that was weird. Mi maestro. That was weird. I was like, why is that space so small? Alright, new story, the new student.
El nuevo estudiante.
Oh, it's a Zadi and Lily situation, alright.
Sari y Lily están en el autobús.
¡Lily! Hay un nuevo estudiante en nuestra clase.
Our class?
Su nombre es Miguel.
Of course, it's Miguel. There's a new student named Miguel. Yeah?
¿Miguel? Sí, es de México. Su padre escribe libros.
Interesting.
Muy interesante. Habla español, inglés y portugués.
Okay.
Ah, es inteligente.
Perhaps.
Inteligente y alto.
Oh.
Y tiene muy bonitos.
Okay, that's a little weird, but okay.
Sí. Muy bonitos zapatos.
Okay, now she's just randomly talking about her shoe.
Sari, Miguel está detrás de ti.
Zari, Miguel está detrás de ti. Is more behind you. Oh yeah, that's right, behind us. Behind.
¿Qué? Hola, Miguel.
She's joking. I think Lily's joking.
Hola, Lily.
Oh no,
¿Cómo
he
estás?
I was gonna try to guess. Maybe Lily is punking Zari by like, "Ha, made you look" or something, right? Nope. Miguel is definitely behind her.
Bien, gracias. Miguel, esta es mi amiga, Sari.
Yeah, this is my friend.
A ella le gustan tus zapatos.
She likes your shoes.
Hola, Miguel.
No. ¿Cómo estás, amiga? Nuevo. Libros. Ay. Yeah, for there is. Okay. That was pretty funny. Let's hear it again.
El nuevo estudiante. Sari y Lily están en el autobús.
¡Lily! Hay un nuevo estudiante en nuestra clase. Su nombre es Miguel. ¿Miguel? Sí, es de México. Su padre escribe libros. Muy interesante. Habla español, inglés y portugués. Ah, es inteligente. Inteligente y alto y tiene muy bonitos. Sí. Muy bonitos zapatos. Sari, Miguel está detrás de ti. ¿Qué? Hola, Miguel.
Hola, Lily. ¿Cómo estás?
Bien, gracias. Miguel, esta es mi amiga, Sari. A ella le gustan tus zapatos. Hola, Miguel.
Okay. Very cute, very cute. Interesante. Libros. Amigo, amiga. Detrás de. Detrás de. Nuevo. Okay. And then our trophy. Right? Our trophy for the day. Okay. Un profesor importante.
Un maestro y un estudiante.
Un maestro y un estudiante. Yo necesito leer un libro.
Tú escribes en la computadora.
Tú escribes en la computadora. ¿La computadora? Lo siento mucho.
Mucho.
Okay. Yo comprendo. Yo entiendo. Okay. Maybe they want us to remember that. He didn't introduce entender.
En la escuela.
En la escuela.
Escuela.
I feel like they lost it somewhere. ¿Ne? Un examen.
Examen
de español. Examen de español.
Yo escribo con mi maestro.
Yo escribo con mi maestro. Mi clase de español.
Mi maestro de español.
Maestro.
Mi maestro de español.
Okay. ¿Tú estudias mucho? ¿Tú estudias medicina? Medicina. Yo quiero estudiar. Tengo un examen importante. Actually, we took less time than I anticipated. Huh. Okay. So let's look at our words just to see what the coverage is. 27 more. So yeah, it's like 27, 27, 27. It's been pretty solid for 27. So la medicina, la universidad, la computadora, lees, right? Lees, estudias, escribes, el profesor. Escribo, importante, estudio, like yo estudio. Oh, we could do that too. So in the future, I can say like, tú estudias, right? Tú estudias, él escribes. Let's go back. Yo estudio mucho, right? Mucho separated from the other, mucho. Yo comprendo. Yo leo. Maybe like quiero escribir. La pregunta. Leer, or just leave infinitives on their own, I suppose. Leer, estudiar. Estudiar. La problema. No, el problema. El or la estudiante. Difícil. La clase. Fácil. El o la, right? El o la maestro. El examen. El libro. El libro. La escuela. El bolígrafo. Yeah. I think that covers everything. Except for entender. Entender. Is it entender or entendar? No, think about it. Pretty sure it's entender. I said that out of habit, right? Yeah, entender. Not entendar. Entender. So we just throw that in there. It's probably a match for comprender. Pretty good. And then one last thing we do each time, we look at the what I'm doing this evening, right? So what I'm doing after stream. So what am I doing after stream? We have... So what is this podcast called? The Medical Student. Stories will always be advancing. Oh, no. There are 3 stories. Wow, this track changed too. So there are 3 stories here. Let's see what they overlap with. A new coat. A new coat. We got that one. The new student. Yes. And then what is this? A question. So now not only do we have more podcasts, we also have more stories. So we have 1 extra story down here. So let's see. For today, for this evening, which I'll talk about tomorrow. What's going on? Oh, something is blocking something is blocking. There's an element here that's blocking stuff. I can't write on. Yeah, I can't write on this. So anyways, let's just go up here a little. Yeah, something's blocking this element. It's at the bottom of the... It's usually at the bottom of the website. So, we have... Let's get all the... We have 1 extra story. 1 extra story. Which is not familiar to me. And the story is called A Question. And we have 3 podcasts. 1 is called Writing Tools. That doesn't sound familiar. Simple Solutions. That doesn't sound familiar. And Bus Stop Greeting. So we have 3. We still have our typical 3 podcasts. I can't write where they are because something's blocking it. And one adventure. Right. 1 adventure. Nice to meet you. So let's write these. So nice to meet you. Mucho gusto. Right. Mucho gusto. And then 3 podcasts are... Writing Tools. Interesting. We only got a pen though. Simple Solutions. So that's probably using our question, fácil and difícil, like conversations. And then Bus Stop. That's interesting. Bus Stop Greeting. Intriguing. So those are our things for tonight. Yeah, so an extra story. An extra story. All right. There you have it. And now our Spanish session. Also, end of the session in general. It was fun. I think I can keep this up until we have to hit peak day. So I don't know how peak day is going to go with Wanikani's peak day. Because right now, Wanikani is less than an hour, usually. It's actually less than 30 minutes a lot of times when it's not peak day. Peak day is gonna happen in another 3 days. So then we'll see how well this goes. It looks like in terms of Spanish, right? I think this one's on the shorter side than yesterday. What about this one? We have 3, 7. 3. Oh, there's 1 less story here. I mean, the next one has more story. Actually, can I view these? To the station. Wait, to the station. Good morning. A question. Oh, here's the story. So technically, they moved this story up here. So this is the extra story. So it's going to be reviewed in the next unit. So they kind of shuffle things around as well. And then we'll do maybe like a quick summary or retrospection if I want to continue the way I'm going now with section 2. We're still gonna be set for a 50-day review, probably a 50-day review. I'm thinking at the pace we're going, I think I'm gonna do a 25-day review for Spanish. It's day 7. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to deliberate on that. All right. As always, more than welcome to chill, hang out, follow along, share your language learning journey, whether it's whatever language it is on it, honestly. If you're gonna watch this later, muchas gracias, right? So until next time, right? Hasta luego, perhaps hasta mañana, and until then, stay safe, stay healthy. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye bye.